How did things end in their previous relationship? Oh, they're still entangled with their ex? Oh, they have a kid with their ex. Oh, the divorce hasn't been finalized. Oh, wow, that's interesting. What are you doing? What are you doing with me when you haven't even finished business over there? How do you know you guys are not going to rekindle? After all, you've been together for such a long time. You have a kid together. How do I know? You don't. You don't know. So don't rush into a new relationship. You know, you're just being groomed. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira, and today we're going to read from the YouTube comments, see if we can help out in the community and answer some questions. This one comes from the Johnson family, or at least that's the name of the commenter. And they go, "Thank you, you get it. People fail to realize these are groomed and manipulated relationships where you are being led into trauma bonding from abuse and codependency, because they destroy your friendships and relationships and continuously take from you your time, your energy, spirit, and resources. Their whole aim is to use you until they get all they need before out of nowhere jumping quickly onto the next one. It's parasitic and damaging to those who get into them, and they just go from one person until the next and only hang with those that do not see them for what they are. The covert ones are the hardest to spot and can be the ones to keep up charades for decades, and the ones that generally commit murders or try and completely destroy your life through smearing and harassment." Let's talk about that. Thanks for sending that in. Like a lot of these relationships that you fall into, you're being groomed little by little over time. You know, as I've mentioned before, I have a private one-on-one coaching program. I work with a lot of survivors that have been abused by narcissists, psychopaths, toxic individuals, and I usually ask, I almost always ask my clients before we jump into the consultation, I like to know, were they coming from another relationship? Were they coming from another marriage? Tell me a little bit about that one. And like, I would say like 7 or 8 out of 10 times, they are coming from another toxic and abusive relationship. And then miraculously, this narcissist appeared out of nowhere and was slowly grooming them while they were trying to get out of that marriage, while they were sad and they were trying to recover and get their life back together. They were being groomed with this person that just showed up and promised them the world. And they were so charming and so giving and so attentive and so over the top with their generosity and their support and their love bombing, because that's what it is love bombing. You get groomed into jumping into a relationship so fast with someone you just met that you don't even really know. Some people end up marrying people that they don't even know within a few months. A few months of ending your divorce or breaking up with your abusive ex, and now you're marrying somebody that you barely even know because they made you some promises. Now, I'm not going to say that that's narcissistic on your part. What I'm going to say is that it's irresponsible to jump into a commitment like that without knowing the person. How about slowly dating, where you actually get to know the person and you spend time with the person? You get to see how things play out. You get to see if you're really compatible or not. You're not playing games and trying to make each other jealous. You're not dating 5 people at the same time when what you're looking for is a monogamous relationship. It makes no sense. You're looking for one person, but you're dating 5 or 6 at the same time. You know, and that's what ends up happening. It's dating. The dating game right now is so out of control. And if you're coming out of a relationship or a marriage late in your life, you're desperate to get into another one because you feel like, oh no, if I'm out of a relationship, oh no, I'm naked. I'm naked out here in the world. I gotta be in something. I gotta be in a relationship, otherwise I'm a failure. So you meet someone, they charm you, they make you all these promises, and just like that, you get hitched, or you just enwrapped in their world without even understanding where they are coming from. What about their situation? Where are they coming from? How did things end in their previous relationship? Oh, they're still entangled with their ex? Oh, they have a kid with their ex. Oh, the divorce hasn't been finalized. Oh, wow, that's interesting. And what are you doing? What are you doing with me when you haven't even finished business over there? How do you know you guys are not going to rekindle? After all, you've been together for such a long time. You have a kid together. How do I know? You don't. You don't know. So don't rush into a new relationship. You know, you're just being groomed. Now, you get entangled with them. What did they start doing? They start pushing you away from your family and your friends. They want you all to themselves. I see that, I'm sorry, I see that as a red flag. You don't have to be completely extroverted and just always be hanging out in big groups and families of 20 or 30. It doesn't have, I'm not saying that. But be careful when you're dating someone that just has no friends, doesn't introduce you to their friends, is not interested in meeting your friends, not interested in meeting your family or seeing how your parents are, how your relationship with your parents are, and vice versa. I mean, if you're trying to build a future with this person, you got to get to know these things. If you're going to marry this, but you can't marry someone and you've never met their mother or their father, that's disaster. And yet it happens, and then there's consequences. You're being groomed by these toxic, manipulative, parasitic individuals that are just chasing the next high. They're trying to lock you down so fast because they're trying to make their ex jealous. They're trying to prove to themselves that they're not the losers, that deep down they know they are. The last things that they were telling their exes are probably the same things that they're going to be telling you in a few months or in a year when shit hits the fan. It's insane, guys. It's insane. But, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to rob you of your time, your energy, your spirit, your resources. And once they get all of that and the disorder kicks in where it says, oh shit, it's time to abandon ship, because it's usually around this time that all my relationships fail. So let me abandon them before they abandon me. Or they find a flaw in you. You're no longer this idealized, perfect mate that they thought you were. Now they see that you're human. Now they realize that, oh shit, you're calling me out on my own bullshit. I don't like that. Oh no, this person sees right through me. My other exes were easy to manipulate. This one's hard. I gotta go. And that's when they just all of a sudden jump ship, discard you like if you meant nothing to them, because they're running away. They know that you know shit. You start calling things out, you start fighting, you start giving them shit, you start questioning them, you start interrogating them, and their whole facade crumbles. And they don't want a part in that. You're seeing right through the facade. Now they feel naked, so they gotta go. But like Johnson family says, you know, it's the covert ones that are the hardest to spot. It's the covert ones, the ones that they keep to themselves. They're a little vulnerable. They show some sort of emotion. Remember, like the spectrum of cluster B There's borderlines, histrionics. It's not just psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists. Like, a lot of these people are really borderline. A lot of these people could be just histrionic. And my understanding and my experience with them is they do have feelings. These do have feelings and emotions, and you see it. You see it. You see how they cry. It's not crocodile tears like a psychopath or like a full-blown narcissist, and you can recognize those crocodile tears. They're bullshit, right? Now, when you're dealing with like borderlines or some of these histrionics, they're really bawling, and they really feel like a part of them is being ripped apart when you break up with them or when you call them out on something, and they realize they fucked up. But the thing is that with this disorder, regardless of that realization, they're going to destroy you and destroy the relationship and make the same mistake again anyway. That's the problem. That's the problem, okay? When you're dealing with a borderline or histrionic, they're going to make the same mistakes, regardless of how much they say or show you that they love you in a moment of weakness and desperation. But they're gonna go and turn around. Something's gonna tell them, hey, you know what, fuck it, it's always this way. That's how it was growing up. My father, my mother, blah, blah, blah. So whatever, YOLO. And they go and they do what they do. And then they're like, God damn it, I did it again. I had someone tell me once, oh my God, I'm such a fuck up. Why am I such a fuck up? I did it again. Damn right you did it again. Damn right you did it again. You got no one else to blame but you, right? Got no one else to blame with you. Oh no, but these people do not accept blame. Oh no, no, no. Maybe at that moment, maybe at that little vulnerable moment when they realize that they're about to lose you and they're about to lose everything that you provide for them, whatever it is that you mean to them, they're about to lose it and they don't want to lose it. Maybe at that moment you see that and they realize it and they acknowledge it, and they'll promise you that they're going to be better. They promise you that they're going to change, and it all sounds good. They talk a good talk, but the very next day they're back at it again. Like Jim from The Office would do. A little smirk, stupid smirk, right? That's what they do. They just do it again. And you're left wondering, but how, when we just had this conversation, you were bawling, begging on your knees, I took you back, and then you go and you do it again. Like, are you a crazy person? Seems like it. It seems like it. Parasitic. Like this guy said, it's parasitic. And before you know it, you'll be entangled with these people for decades, and they ultimately ruin your life. And it's happening like with a little slow poison drip, little poison drip, poison drip, poison drip. Before you know it, there's more poison in your body than blood. Poison blood. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. I know it makes no sense. But these are the patterns of this disorder. You have to accept, whether you like it or not, that these are the patterns of the disorder. This is why videos like this resonate with you, because if you legit went through this experience, and the reason I say it like that is a lot of people, the YouTube algorithm will show you these videos because your boyfriend or your girlfriend cheated on you, and then you see something like this and then you're like, oh yeah, they're a narcissist. And it's like, a cheater is not a narcissist. A cheater is a cheater. Do narcissists cheat? Absolutely. Can some cheaters be narcissists? Sure, but it's not black or white. Some people just are not meant to be in a relationship. Some people had no intention of being in a monogamous relationship, and they're just players and they're just whores and they just do that shit. Maybe there's a little underlining, underneath that, there might be a little cluster B, maybe, possibly, maybe not. Doesn't matter. What matters is they cheated on you. Why are you trying to salvage that relationship? Why are you taking them back? Why are you believing anything that comes out of their mouth at this point? You have to understand, once you've caught one of these pieces of shit lying to you to this degree, not a little white lie, to this degree where they're doing shit behind your back, putting you at risk, messing with your heart and your mind this way, you have to assume everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie at this point. Because they're going to say what they need to say to protect their identity. They're going to say what they need to say to somehow twist the facts and make you think that it was your fault. Now, I always say we have a part in every situation. It takes two to tango, right? But the torture and the abuse that narcissists and psychopaths inflict on their victims has nothing to do with you. Okay? The part that has to do with you is that you were attracted to these type of fuck-ups, these individuals where you confused arrogance and cockiness for confidence, where you confused thuggish criminal activity with entrepreneurship. You confused some asshole tough guy that's always getting in trouble with the law. You confused that as protection, as somebody that was going to protect you, when the truth is you don't want to be near someone like that, because someone like that could slice your neck off. And then your head is attached to your neck. So imagine how bloody that's going to be. That's the part when I say that we have a part in it. It's what was our attraction to someone that was so disordered that when they committed these acts of manipulation and betrayal, we entertained the idea of taking them back. We entertained their bullshit for more. It's like we wanted more. That's what it looks like from the outside. It's like you want more. You touched the stove, you got burned, and what do? The next day, let's go touch the stove again to check if it's hot. Damn. But it's true. When your mind is fried from the gaslighting, when your mind is under a fog, under a dark spell from these parasitic individuals, those are the type of decisions that we end up making. And you got to realize, hey, wait a second, what am I doing here? Enough is enough. They're not going to change. If you want better results in your life, you got to start doing better things. You can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. You can't expect that a disordered, narcissistic, parasitic creature like this is all of a sudden going to change, and they're going to love you and admire you and respect you and make amends to you. They don't have the ability to make amends like that. They're just complete fuck-ups. It's not my job to fix them. It's not your job to fix them. You didn't inherit that burden. You chose it. Maybe you didn't know that it was there, but a lot of times we know that they have daddy issues or mommy issues. Well, we know that they come from an abusive situation. A lot of times they tell you. And somehow we feel like, oh, you know what? But they want to be with me for a reason. And I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna turn their life around. I'm gonna be the one that doesn't give up on them. Ha! Let me know how that worked out for you. But it is what it is. And in the end, they'll smear your name. And they'll tell everybody that you were crazy and that you were a monster. I'm gonna make videos about smear campaigns because, you know, you guys, it happens. It happens so often, and you need to be aware of the damage that you perceive from the smear campaigns, that you think it's really happening, but most people don't really care. They're living their own lives. They really don't care. But the narcissist in desperation does that. They will smear your name and smear campaigns, and they'll put shit on social media to ruin your life, allegedly. People don't even care. But when it's happening to you, it's the end of the world, right? So we'll talk about that. I know Johnson family mentioned it at the end, and the harassment. We'll talk about that in the next videos. But yeah, so if you find yourself dealing with a borderline, with a histrionic, with a narcissist, and you know, you see their vulnerability and their emotions, and then they flip and they do the same shit, you know, you're being groomed to accept that. You're being groomed to accept that. It's just polarity, right? It's like bipolar people as well. You reward them by staying with them. They're going to keep doing it. Your mind becomes conditioned. Okay, this is just what they do. They don't mean to do this, yada, yada, yada. But I'm sorry. I mean, at some point, you got to have some sort of boundaries. You got to have some sort of self-love. And I know that some people don't like that word, but I like it. I think self-love is to love yourself enough where you're not going to accept people to abuse you and take advantage of you like that. Not physically, not emotionally. You got to put a stop to it, because otherwise it's never going to stop. And they're just going to take you out and then leave you there and bounce to somebody new to repeat the process. All right? So if you'd like to work directly with me, I have a private coaching program, as I mentioned earlier in the video. I would love to help you guys and workshop through your situation. It's a private program. It's just one-on-one. We get to dive deep into your entanglement. You get my personalized attention, and there's action steps. There's ways to rewire, reframe the experience. There's a lot of talking that we do, you know, to really get to those places where it's like, that's the reason why I accepted narcissistic abuse. It wasn't that I wanted it, but that's why I did it. It was because of that fear. It was that fear that kept me in there, and why I put up with it. It was that fear. Sometimes the fear of being alone, the fear of having to start over, the fear of not knowing what would happen without this person in my life. What if I don't have this person again? Oh my God. But what if not having that person in your life opens up the door and creates the space you need for someone better, or multiple people, like friends that you can make, right? Co-workers that actually help you grow, business partners, you know, a bunch of stuff, sports, whatever it may be. This doesn't always have to be a romantic thing, just better experiences. But as long as you have this soul leeching psycho in your life, they rob all of your attention and all of your energy, and all you do is think about that. So how can you move forward from that? You have to find the courage to walk away, and you have to discover the will to love the things you used to love again, so that you can enjoy the time that you have left on earth, because the time is gonna pass by anyway. I can tell you that. So what are you gonna do with your time? Sit there, ruminate, mope, woe is me, victim, telling your victim story? How long do you want to be telling your victim story to people that don't give a fuck? Don't you want to get to a place where you're done with it, and now you're sharing amazing experiences? I think that you're going to get a lot more from that, and better quality people are going to want to be in your life when you're doing that than when you're a negative Nancy. So do not hesitate to reach out. Like, you can't afford not to work with somebody that's been through this situation as I worked with my mentor. Otherwise, I would still be in the same low paradigm, trying to figure out what I did wrong, trying to somehow get her back, and my life would have been just a vicious cycle of rumination, of anxiety, of panic, of false hope, repeat, Rinse, repeat. Let's start over. Let's go through it again. Let's go through the story again. Oh, she called me. Oh my God. That means she still cares. She texted me. Oh my God. That means she still loves me. She's still thinking about me. Oh no, she's sad and she's depressed. Let me help her. Let me tell her let me give her some words of encouragement. That would have been my life. Meanwhile, she was probably bouncing on some dude's, stick while sending those texts. I've heard crazier stories. I'm not making this stuff up. All right, so click the link in the description if you'd like more information on my coaching program. And I also have a free ebook that you can download straight to your phone on the 5 steps of going no contact with a narcissist, with a psychopath. Because you have to stop talking, you have to stop communicating with these people. You just can't keep going back. You can't keep looking at their social media. You got whatever's going on in their life is none of your business. None of your business. The focus should only be on you, the quality people in your life, and where you want to go. All right, that's enough of my rant. Thanks for sticking around. If you got some value, as I always say, please drop a like. Share the video with somebody that could benefit from this information, and do not forget to subscribe if this is your first time here on the channel, so you can get notified when new videos are posted. Once again, my name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. See you guys in the next video. Be good to yourselves. See you next time.